who has served the Pass area for 22 years. Donut Delight on the corner of Highland Springs Road and Ramsey Street, just off the I-10 freeway. Donut Delight opens daily at 4:30 a.m.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. It's good to have you. It's been a great, quiet week for this last week. What did you do for fun? Did you have fun? And will you have fun this week going on forward? I know there's a lot of things happening around the world. Some of it's been a little quiet, and some things are just kind of going, okay, what is going on next? So we want to say a big thank you to those of you that we met over the weekend. I know I went to Long Beach, and there was a lot of interesting information about Long Beach and what's going on in Long Beach as a city and some of the things that need to be kind of done. There's voting to take place soon, and some people are garnering the votes there. But it's interesting to hear some of the things that is happening in certain areas, including the education school system. And I heard literally that there was a shortage of teachers and there's more per class. But we've kind of had more per class every single year ever since, I think, the 80s. I remember that being the complaint way back when. I didn't understand what it meant, except that, of course, you have less time per student, right? I think the goal is always like 18 to 20. But in the LA Unified School District and other school districts, it's usually anywhere from 20 to 30 and sometimes as much as 40, at least East Coast. That's what I heard from somebody who was actually from the East Coast area. And he's like, yeah, when I was a kid, we had up to 40. And I was like, wow, that's something to be aware of. But you turned out really good. And I'm like, you know what? Sometimes the kids take it upon themselves to do what they can. Sometimes it's not the teachers. And I know I've had teachers which are very just textbook, right? So they're like kind of like, look at the textbook, they grade the textbook, there is no hands-on. So I kind of almost question the personability when it comes to like 8th grade and above. Anything before that, I feel you need more teachers per student. But interesting conversation. I learned a lot, and I'm always willing to talk to teachers. I've talked to teachers in the past, and I will say oftentimes they do complain about the bureaucracy of certain what I will say, kind of like what you can and can't do. I understand the legal part, there's that. But then there's ones that kind of like want to do the right thing. I know there were some teachers that I interviewed from South Central, and they did the right thing as much as possible. And then certain like administration kind of put the clamp down on them, not allowing them to do what they want to do in order to kind of, get the kids up to like college level. And, that along with other things. So I just thought it was an interesting conversation. Had that Saturday evening, and I learned a lot. And to those that are, watching or tuning in from that event, I want to say, let us know what you're thinking. Bring it up in social media. I know Long Beach is one of many cities that kind of needs to kind of, in a way, clean up their area. I heard a lot of complaint from certain members of the city, which said they don't like how dirty it is. And Long Beach actually used to be kind of the clean place to be. I know, because we used to go to Long Beach quite often. And you never thought of dirt, you never thought of like clutter, you never thought of litter everywhere, but they're like, our beaches are dirty as all get out. And I'm like, well, what is the city doing? And they're like, nothing. It's up to the community to do it. And I say, okay, I understand that. But, city has funds. It's not like they're poor. Long Beach is one of the least poorest cities ever to be able to provide services for, those that are living in Long Beach. So Long Beach is a great place, but evidently there's a lot of weird stuff happening there. And then going out in the public area is kind of unsafe for some. Like some are like, I don't want to go shopping, and then those like, I don't even know where there's a shopping place that's safe to do. So there's that. There's complaints about, of course, parking, but it's a city which is kind of like you find parking where you can. You know what I mean? In certain parts of Long Beach. Now I know a lot of people know the Long Beach area, like Shoreline Village, like the touristy area, right? Convention Center, which again I used to go every single year. As of the last couple of years, they kind of said nope, online only. But I will say these are the things that we always kind of say, all right, we see it reported on, but we don't see what's happening in our streets. And we had a discussion on the police force there and police activity and how it's kind of just like LA kind of not doing what they need to do because there's a lot of shootings happening. There's a lot of people unsafe. There's a lot of things that just people are going, what do we do next? So it was an interesting conversation. Our good friend, Latino cyber guy, Jose Yoa, had a event at his home and invited a lot of the neighbors, a lot of the Long Beach people there. And so we had a very interesting discussion. But anyway, to news around the world. I know Jesse's checking out some of the news. What's going on, Jesse?
Good morning. Yes, I am so chipper today because I woke up, looked at the news, and let's just say after reading this article, my day is so much better.
Then do share, Jesse.
So, okay, so let's say you go to the bathroom, okay? You drop your phone in the toilet. What do you do?
Well, that depends on the phone. But wait. Did you do number 1 or number 2 first before dropping it in the toilet?
Good question. Let's just say you did number 1 and you dropped a $1,200 phone.
What's number 1 again?
You just peed.
Why did I think that was the opposite? All right, okay, I didn't even know that. So number 1 is just like urinal. Number 2 is full on.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, I've never had that happen to me. My mom has. Not gonna lie. You pick it up and clean it off. I guess you don't flush it. Right? Or is flushing it the best way to do it? I mean, is it waterproof is the question. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so what if you drop it into a vault toilet?
Did you say a
vault toilet?
Vault toilet. What's a vault toilet, Jesse?
Yeah, I used that word because I knew you wouldn't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. I'm like, does it lock it up for good? What happens to...
So, a woman was rescued by 2 fire crews after she fell headfirst into a vault toilet while trying to receive her cell phone at a park on Olympic Peninsula, Washington. So what a vault toilet is an outhouse.
Huh.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. So a vault toilet is now the new outhouse?
I guess that's just a easier way of saying porta potty or like outhouse.
Right,
but
that makes sense.
In the 40s was using an outhouse at Mount Walker, a popular destination for hikers, when the accident occurred. A vault toilet is a waterless, non-flush toilet usually placed at outdoor locations like campgrounds. So named because the toilets store waste in an airtight vault underground. That's actually pretty cool. After dropping her phone in the toilet, the woman disassembled her seat. That's a mistake. And housing of the toilet in an attempt to reach it. The fire department said on Facebook she used a dog leash to try to fish it out before using it to support herself as she tried to grab the phone. But the attempt failed and she slid into the toilet. Fortunately, after 20 minutes, oh my God, that must have felt like hours, inside that vault, she was able to find and use her phone and call 911. According to the fire department, the uninjured woman was washed down and given a Tyvek suit to wear. But the patient was extremely fortunate not to be overcome by toxic gases or sustain injuries. I'm sorry. No amount of money or phone would make me dive into an outhouse. It's gone.
You know what? And I hate... Oh, man, I don't even want this visual, but I'm going to have this visual for life. Thank you so much, Jesse. I hate you right now. You know what? I have looked at porta potties. You know how they're deep, and you're like, you're not the first one. Okay, I thought you meant like a flushing toilet. Okay, this is not a flushing toilet, I think. It's the one where it sits there, Jesse, and you know how many people had been there prior to you? So I guarantee herself, like these are one of those deep ones I don't even think about like jumping into, but now I'm going to look at them completely different, Jesse. That's disgusting. So she was stuck in it, and she couldn't get out for 15 to 20 minutes?
Yep. I started laughing like tears are coming from my eyes. I'm like,
that's disgusting,
I'm sorry,
Jesse.
If my phone falls in that, it's gone forever. I will not go for it. No amount of cleaning will take away what it has seen or what it has laid in. Yeah.
You know what? I can see her like looking down and like kind of going forward, and then somebody opening the door because she forgot to lock it, and boom, into the toilet. Ah, nasty. Ugh, no, thank you. Blech. Oh man, Jesse, I don't know about making my day. That just grossed me out 100%. Well, you know what? Poor thing. She says she did not wish to be taken to the hospital. Oh, and they had to wash her down. What's a Tyvek suit? Now I wonder what a Tyvek suit is, Jesse. Personal protective equipment in the style of a coverall to wear. Oh. Okay. You know what? Oh, I get it. Like they do with when you see Asia and you see everybody like with a face mask and they wear those like white suits. Okay, got it. That's a typical suit. All right. Jesse, all I got to say is bleh. I mean, you're right. I just let it go. Just be like, you know what? Or scoop it up with something. Or, oh, you know what? Even that sounds disgusting. I can't even go on one of those things. It's just...
Yeah, she tried. So all I have to say is don't use your phone while you're on the porta potty. Yeah, just don't use it. You don't, just do your business and get out. You don't need to be in there any longer than you have to be.
Yeah, I normally like hold my breath. I'm not gonna lie; those things are disgusting. I've been in the nice ones, you know, like the regular kind that kind of like, you know, you go up and in, and then they have like a nice little like it's kind of like your home type toilet, but it doesn't sit there. I hate the ones where it sits there. It's like
I've seen nice ones. They just have to be. They're just really well cared for. But
yeah,
I've only seen like one or two, but the vast majority of them are just like yeah, take care of it in a week. Don't fill it up.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm done for the more. I think we're done. That's it for the more show because Jesse just ruined it for all of us. I was hoping for a fun one. That was a disgusting one. That was gross. That's like horror show times 8. Like her coming out of it like imagine her boyfriend like don't share. And then the fact that it made the news, you know what I mean? Like, and I think it's weird. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you saw this picture, but the ones that are smiling in this picture, I kind of like go, why are you smiling? Did you plan this? What is going on with you two? Like, are you wanting this to happen? Like, these are the guys that are just like, man, we see it all, but we never see this sort of thing. You know, like what's going on there? I don't understand, Jesse.
Like what? Like if you were the firefighter, like what would you do? Like if you were to walk in on that, like, should I take a picture right now? Because I'm never gonna see this again.
You gotta laugh. I mean, not around her, but you gotta laugh. That's a story for the days. And then the funny part, I think, is that they have like the yellow tape right around it, like murder scene, like caution, don't go down this toilet. Go in the woods. It's easier. You won't fall in. Anyway, all right, we gotta take a break. Good morning to each and every one of you tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Ugh, that's disgusting, Jesse.
$10,000 or more to the IRS or state? Did you miss sending out a prior year tax return? The IRS is out to collect now more than ever, and they'll use any means necessary. They legally can and will garnish your wages, take your money, and even seize your property. If you're behind on your taxes, call the Tax Relief Hotline right now at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000. You can legally get your tax debt under control, and in many cases get the breathing room you need. Garnished wages, property seizures, bank levies can stop immediately, but you have to call. Many of our specialists are IRS enrolled agents. They know the system and how to make it work for you. Don't wait for the IRS to come down on you. Act now so you can get your tax debt under control. Call their Riverside office today for free info at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000.
Tried shipping a package lately? It's amazing how difficult and time-consuming it can be. Packing, envelopes, boxes, second-day ground, next-day air, it's all enough to give you a headache. Next time, do yourself a favor, go with the pros at the UPS store in Beaumont. They'll pack it right and let you know all your shipping options. You can also take care of everyday tasks like copies, faxing, notary services, and live scan fingerprinting. And while you're there, pay your Edison, gas company, and Verizon bills. Open extended hours Monday through Saturday. The UPS store in Beaumont, located in the Oak Valley Plaza at 1440 Beaumont Avenue. Call 951-769-5956. That's 951-769-5956. Online at the upsstorelocal.com/5027 or Google 5027.
What is commitment and why is it so hard to achieve? The new book, Committed, by Dr. Carmen Hara and Alexandra Hara, will make you reevaluate the way you think about love. Committed is a relationship manual that unfolds in 2 parts. The work you need to perform on the inside and the 7 distinct archetypes you will encounter on the outside. Committed, a new book available on Amazon by Dr. Carmen Hara and Alexandra Hara, will help to find and keep the love you deserve. Committed, available now on Amazon.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. Big shout out to Antonio Mendoza, who's tuning in. We appreciate you. Ted tuning in. Stephanie Reed tuning in. Stephanie says, hello, happy editing this glorious sunshine awesomeness busy day ahead for today. Twitter as well, LinkedIn as well, and of course YouTube Live. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to push that retweet button and subscribe. We appreciate each and every one of you. All right, just as stories, but we're going to kind of hold off on stories because we got a call from a pooper scooper person, and they said, you know, it doesn't work that way, Jesse. Like, we rescue phones all the time. People don't fall in all the time. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's all I got to say is bleh, no way, Jose. Jesse, question. Whenever the internet slows down at your home, do you ever have a question? Is it being done on purpose?
That thought has never crossed my mind, but now it has.
Okay, website seems sluggish and downloads take forever. It's frustrating, especially when you're paying for high-speed internet. Well, here's the thing. This is a news headline. Is your service provider throttling your internet speed? Here's how to check. A lot of people don't know. Sometimes it happens for one of several reasons. One, if there are a bunch of connections on a line and they're all coming from different providers, sometimes another one can interfere with another provider. Just, I don't even understand how it happens, but it's happened where I live, all right? So sometimes our internet goes down where I'm at, not necessarily at the station, but that's because certain feeds are kind of interfering with other feeds. So if somebody moves out and they leave one kind of exposed and they don't just turn it off, or I guess it drains on the other ones. I don't really understand. So be careful of that. So I will say that has happened to me, but usually there's a minimum threshold they're supposed to have until they send out a technician. So that's one thing. According to this information, though, it says as far as make sure it's not just you, Down Detector is a good one to go to. You could go to Down Detector, I think it's .org or something, and it'll let you know if there are other people having problems. If not, they say it could be a moocher. Yes, your neighbors or someone else could be piggybacking off your connection. Now, that's a new one. I've never heard of that. I didn't even know that was possible. But you can always check to see if your network is kind of tapped into. I don't know about, I know that makes sense for wirelessly, but I don't know about with a connection. I think you have to have a certain set of things that you got to know. But I think it means, like, if you have a network and it's public, then people are going to start, borrowing your internet to get their internet. And I know because I've had friends do that where they're like, oh, I signed on to my neighbors, but you don't understand, they may be on the game and you're like, kind of drained because you're downloading like, music or you're watching Netflix and they're like, dude, why is my connection so slow? So that's a good way to check that. And then it says a VPN. A VPN, or a virtual private network, creates a secure bridge between your device and the internet, encrypting your online traffic from all forms of interference, snooping, and censorship. A free VPN will sell your data and collect everything, and I didn't know that. That's good to know. And a free VPN will slow your connection down while collecting all your data. It's free for a reason. You're paying with your data, and boom, it starts. You get more spam, targeted ads, and maybe even more robocalls. Again, didn't know that. You want a VPN that doesn't harvest and sell your information and works across several devices. Most of all, it must be easy to use. They recommend ExpressVPN, which happens to be a sponsor of their post here. But they're saying, is your ISP throttling you? Before turning on your VPN, check your internet speed. You can Google search, but I go just to speedtest.net. Don't click on the ads. Don't ever click on any of the ads. Ads always have like certain spyware and things. But speedtest.net is a good one to go to, and then you could see what you are at. And certain times during the day it does happen differently, but I always say look at that and then you'll understand how quick or fast you are or how very slow you are. If you're under 5 megabytes per second, basically you're throttling at about the speed of what your phone can do. That's slow, okay? If you can do 10 and above, make sure you know what you're paying for first of all, and if you're paying for more than 20, you should at least get minimum 18. So if it drops way below that and you're getting like 3 or 1, which I've seen in some cases because we stream a lot. And sometimes we go and check the connection ahead of time. If you have an event or a special thing that you want streamed, we got cameras galore. So we could do like a 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 camera production and make your event pop. But having said that, there's a lot of situations where, unfortunately, the streaming ability is very low, or nobody pays to get it, like, with more. I know at the station we've had to kind of make sure to keep our internet speed really good between us and, of course, where Jesse's at, but he's in Riverside, I'm in the LA area. So that's the thing that we do, and that's how other broadcasters are able to kind of broadcast on our show, and then we're able to kind of stream it out live. So there's a lot of things that we all depend on now that we didn't depend on before. I know a lot of people use Zoom almost as a regular thing. Sometimes even just to get to know each other, you know what I mean? And that's fun. And then others do it, like Jesse, for gaming, right, Jesse?
Oh, yeah. So what speeds are you getting?
How do you mean? Like for what?
Upload, download. What's your normal speeds?
You're checking the speed there?
Yeah, I already know. But I used to work at this one person's place, and their speeds, oh my God, it was crazy.
Like 50 and above?
400 up, 400 down.
I need that, Jesse.
Right? That's what I looked at the numbers. I'm like, that's amazing. Do you know what we could have? Oh my God, yeah. Just the sheer upload and download speed of that area was just like amazing.
It is actually, yeah. Look, some would kind of say you don't need faster than 30, right? But I say you need faster than at least 40 to get like a really good connection to stream everything you want, right? Like let's say, for example, and people don't think like this, but let's say you have 3 people in the family, right? And you're all streaming Netflix in separate rooms. What speed should you be at to be able to watch 4K?
Oh, so we're getting back to the days where, remember dial-up? Get off the phone, I'm using the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I'm not lying. Sometimes I say to my mom, for those that know, I actually, help my mom a lot. For example, pray for her. She's got to go to the dentist. It's no fun, trust me. But she streams our program as well, right, on the same connection. And so when I'm streaming out, I need as much data as I can get. So if it's kind of like all over the place, which it has been sometimes in the morning, right now it's really good. It's real at an even level. But if she streams like Netflix at the same time, that's going to put a drain on the connection because there's only so much bandwidth, right? So you would want faster than at least 40 if you had 3 people all watching Netflix at 4K. Now, if they're all watching like regular at 1080 or 720, then you could get away with like 20 or 23. But anything more than that, then you got a problem. Then you have a problem. I remember at a family's house, he had a router, but he had it like at the front part of the house. So when they were watching shows in the middle part of the house, it wasn't reaching. So you need a better router with kind of like a bigger bandwidth. Does that make sense?
You need a mesh system.
Or that, yes.
Yeah, this way it's...
or a repeater. That's right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Like Google Home does that. And then you place them in intervals. That way you can reach all the way to the back. But yeah, I remember we were watching Netflix and it was like one of those like the wheel of death, right? So they moved the television from that part of the area to the front area, so now they have good speed. But you got to take these things into consideration when you're doing wireless, because nobody does. At least I don't think anybody does. I mean, I could be wrong. Who does DirecTV and or Dish Network, right? I have yet to see a Dish Network or DirecTV connection as of late because they charge so much. So everybody's watching on Netflix or Hulu or Paramount Plus or the apps that are available, or Roku. A lot of people now have a Roku device. So yeah, there's a lot of situations there. We want to be aware of it and be aware of your speed, especially if you're paying for it high priced. If you're paying for it high price and you're not getting it or you're not getting a margin of it, you can call up your service provider, ask them what they're seeing. You already did yours on speedtest.net. That's the easiest way to do it. You can do it on your phone too. And then you say, hey, by the way, why am I getting only 8 when I should be getting at minimum 20, right? So there you go. Okay, people on social media, let's see. Eugenia says, yes, I love the variety of platforms outside Zoom coming out of Japan. Oh, interesting. Mark Blevins, thank you for tuning in. Brandon Burleson, thank you for tuning in. All right, so we got more information right after this. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more right after these messages.
KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
Hi everyone, Dave Levine here. The Dave Levine Show is back on the air, 10 to 11 a.m. Wednesday mornings on KMET 1490. Join me for an hour of Law & Order stories and commentary. Law & Order is now the #1 issue for Californians. If you miss it live, you can hear or watch it 24/7 on either SoundCloud or live stream. See you there. Thank you.
Can't you see just a few seconds?
Summer's almost here, and you know what that means. Sunny days and hot temperatures that make you want to stay inside. Franklin Mechanical Systems can repair or replace your air conditioning unit to get it working before the heat hits. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems is the one for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000 and get cool today.
Join Yvette Walker every Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. on KMET ABC News Radio, 1490 AM, FM 98.1, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show is dedicated to highlighting successful businesses and the individuals behind them. Yvette interviews the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 o'clock p.m.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I know Jesse's got some news over there. What's going on, Jesse?
Oh, yeah. No, this story was actually pretty cool. Considering that if I was in the same situation, it would have been vastly different. So this woman, 52, survived 6 days stranded in the Sierra Nevada mountain range by eating yogurt and eating snow. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, a 52-year-old woman who had been missing for 6 days in the remote snow-covered Northern California wilderness has been rescued, thank God. The sheriff's office in Laysan County said Sheena Gullett survived inside a snowbound truck by rationing yogurt and eating snow to stay hydrated.
Wow.
All I have to say is if it was me, I would have, I don't know. I think I got plenty of fuel on me to survive a week. I just need to drink water and stay hydrated.
Well, you know what? When you're thirsty, you will drink almost about anything, right? Even if it is Montezuma's Revenge, which some of the areas can have that. They say don't drink the water, but wow. So so I know everybody's having the question. Does it say what kind of yogurt she had?
Honestly, the article did not mention what type of yogurt. That's actually pretty interesting. I wonder who's going to get that advertisement, right?
I know, really. I was thinking Yoplait. That was the first one that came to my mind. Because there's a certain one that I actually like. I think it has like nutmeg or something in it. I don't know. It's got a little like goodness in it. But that's interesting. Wow. Well, you know what? Good for her for staying alive. And how did she get lost again?
So Gullet and her friend Justin Lonick, 48, got stranded on April 14th and spent the night in the truck, according to a news release issued by Layton County Sheriff's Office. The next morning, the vehicle's battery was dead, and they decided to walk out for help. But Gullet turned around when the soles of her boots came off. Ooh. She then became separated from Lonick. Lonick continued hiking, building campfires at night, finally reaching a highway and summoning help on April 17th. Search crews were unsuccessful in finding Gullet for several days, but last Wednesday, Lonick joined the search and found Gullet in the vehicle. Gullet said she survived by rationing 6 packs of yogurt, a 6-pack of yogurt she had with her, and eating snow to stay hydrated. Okay, that's actually pretty smart. Stay next to the truck, because obviously that was the last place the person saw you.
Yeah, right. I know. How did one go off without the other? I have a question on that.
Like, it says that her soles came off of her shoes, so I'd be like, so you.
But how do you like when you're trailing each other? How do you not like check in? Like, was she talking a lot? And the other one's like, I'm so glad I don't hear her anymore. She talks so much. Like, like what happens? Like, or does she not talk enough and then she just like goes missing? Like, do you not take a break? I don't understand that, Jesse. How do you lose somebody like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Like, you didn't obviously get lost because you pretty much just walked off without them. That's
exactly. I don't know. I got questions on that, but that's me. I mean, if I were hiking with somebody, I would hope that they would check in every now and then, right? Like, are you okay? Are you okay? Right? Sometimes I get asked, hey, do you want to go hiking? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I have yet to do it, but I think there's responsible hiking, and then there's just like, dude, I don't want that as a hiking partner. Are you supposed to be like looking out for each other?
Oh, yes. Well, let's just say I remember one time I went hiking with my stepbrother and cousin and my cousin's girlfriend. I let my stepbrother and cousin lead the way, the path. They are absolutely stupid. Their motto was, I have a magnet in my nose, so I know the way. So they went off trail. Okay. Started walking. After 2 hours, we couldn't find the trail anymore. So I'm like, okay, if we do not find the trail by the end of the night, I will eat one of you and I will burn this place to the ground. But that was not mine.
That's a way to get them to do what you want.
Right? I mean, they're stupid. I'm like, why would you go off trail? I'd be like, we're just walking. We literally walked around for like 4 hours trying to find the trail, shouting for people. And I'm just like, oh my God.
All right. That makes sense.
Keep a map of the area. Keep a compass. This way you know where you are. Learn how to read a map. That's number one. Right.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Learn how to read maps and learn how to use a compass. That's key for survival, especially if you're lost.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Totally. I'm seeing this little article. I don't know if this is the right pack for you to stay alive, but it's good to know. It's a NASA backpack. They say it will keep astronauts alive on the moon. So, hey, maybe it's good for us as well. They don't show exactly. Their marketing is the worst thing ever. It shows a guy with a backpack that looks like far. It's hard to see it in the actual photo. But if you can kind of strain and see, you can see NASA engineer Michael Zanetti there. The Kinematic Navigation and Cartography Knapsack, known as KNAC, is armed with a mobile scanner that can create a 3D map of the terrain around the wearer. Utilizing the same technology that helps smart cars avoid crashing, the backpack will give astronauts a high-resolution map of the surrounding area and be able to provide them with a real-time navigation system, something that will come in handy in a truly alien world. Michael Zanetti, who's the planetary scientist, says basically the sensor is a surveying tool for both navigation and science mapping, able to create ultra-high-resolution 3D maps at centimeter-level precision and give them a rich scientific context. That's interesting. They say, think of it as Google Maps on steroids. Not only will the backpack allow astronauts to chart out their course in real time, but it will help to identify faraway landmarks while ensuring the safety of astronauts and rover vehicles in GPS-denied environments, such as the moon. It's especially important for astronauts who have a limited supply of oxygen in their suits. Well, that's good to know. NAC will also give researchers even more insights into the geology of the lunar surface by mapping out the topography and elevation of the terrain. NASA researchers are hopeful that the backpack will reveal some new facts about the moon, so they're going to try it on the moon. That's actually kind of neat,
Actually, it really is. I'm looking at the pictures right now in the articles. That's actually pretty cool. So you have like a giant, like, sound machine that monitors or like records geography, I guess. I don't know.
Basically like a sonar system. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So you're just walking around, it's going like bloop, and then recording everything.
Yeah. Which is good as long as you have like a way to track the person walking. You know what I mean? Because they have robots for that. I'm just saying. But you know, I think if anything, you know what I think they need more, Jesse? I think they need, if you're gonna go on a hike, you need to have a way to track the person, right? Like just in case. You know what I mean? Like, what if a mountain lion comes out and then, like, you know, chases you off trail and you lose your way for days? At least you have a way to track you down, right? Think of like that one that, what's it called? Tag or something like that, right? Trackable?
They have a watch. I don't know how much it sells for, but it's pretty much like it has an emergency button.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like no matter where you are in the world, if there's an emergency, you press it and it'll call like police, ambulance, all that stuff to help you.
Okay, that makes sense.
Just make sure you never press it on accident because it will cost $11,000 to, I think, if it's like a false charge or something.
That makes sense as well. Okay.
Yeah, but they have technology like that. It's not available to the like mass public because it's not cheap at all.
Right. That makes sense too. All right, well then there you go. That's our advice for the day when it comes to hiking. Hike responsibly, don't hike irresponsibly, and don't get stuck in a, what do they call it, Jesse? A vault toilet?
Yes, I'm going to use that for now on, a vault toilet. This way it confuse people. Be like, what's that? Yeah.
Outhouse. Translation, outhouse. Don't fall into the outhouse looking for your phone. I wonder though, Jesse, does it say anything about her phone and did it work after that? Because that would be a very, very important phone to, like, you know what I mean? Because I've lost phones along the way. And I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't leave it there because I have a lot of important information. I don't even know where the phone's at. So you got to back it up. If you do not back up, you basically could say goodbye to your phone. And I lost it in an accident. I don't know why I lose things in accidents anyway. So any information there, Jesse? Android, iPhone?
They did not release what type of phone it was. Like I said, no amount of price will ever make me use that phone again. No.
I would just get the info and say goodbye.
Pretty much. Once the info is transferred, there's no amount of cleaning that will ever erase the memories of where it's been.
I know, imagine like in the speaker part of it or like the audio part of it. You're welcome. Oh, that's disgusting. Let's see. Social media. Ellie Gonzalez tuning in from Georgia. Awesome. Glad to have you with us. Algenia says there are tribes in the area, but they're hidden. If she knew, she could have stayed overnight with the tribes. What tribe would you trust, though? I don't know. Naomi Guerrero tunes in. Thank you, Naomi. Randy Guth is also tuning in. We appreciate you. Algenia says deer hunters have a GPS. That's smart. That makes sense, right? All right. So there you go. All right. We're going to take a quick little break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
In the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny and Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us what makes you the #1 choice for handling personal injury cases.
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
That's Penny and Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennyandassociates.com or call 1-800-616-4-LAW. That's 1-800-616-4-LAW.
New teen driver in the family? Just bought your first home? Have a new bundle of joy? Every life change matters, and by reviewing your insurance policy with Little & Sons Insurance Services, you could be benefiting with big savings. Little & Sons Insurance Services, a family-owned insurance agency who values the old-fashioned way of doing business. They work for you, not an insurance company, meaning your best interests are at heart. They can custom tailor your policy based on specific needs at a price you can afford. Home, auto, or business, you're covered. Call 1-844-9-LITTLE. That's 1-844-9-LITTLE, or go online to little, the letter N, sons.com. That's littlensons.com.
Spread the word. IE Newswire is now on every Monday through Friday, live at 5 p.m. on Rumble and KMET 1490 AM, 5:30 to 6 p.m. Join all the cool kids who want an eclectic look at the news without all the filters of the evil scoundrels of social media and the despicable dorks of the dominant press. Don't fumble and stumble. Subscribe to IE Newswire on Rumble and roll with the best hillbilly hoedown around.
Your health truly is the greatest gift. At U-Theory, quality of life is at the heart of every product we make. From farm to shelf, we travel the world to source the purest, most efficacious, and clinically studied ingredients to create science-backed supplements that support beauty, emotional, digestive, and physical well-being. All U-Theory products are manufactured at our Southern California facility, ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try U-Theory Immune Plus Daily Wellness. 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. U-Theory.
When you want the best performance for your vehicle, think only of Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, right off the I-10 and 60 freeways. Check out Scott's complete list of performance products on their website at hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers can recommend ways for your car or truck to get better gas mileage and cut down on emissions. Need your car or truck to pass smog only? Go to Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. Find out all of your questions on vehicle performance by logging on to hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. hdrinfo.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate Wendy, who's tuning in with social media, and we appreciate all of our people that tune in each and every day here on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. We appreciate all of you. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. All social media handles, Aaron M. Sanchez. You can find us all right there. Jesse, I know you got something going on over there. What's going on?
Yeah, am I missing something? My friend sent me an article. It was called Disney in Texas, ? Judge invites company to move amid DeSantis feud. Is something happening in Florida that I'm not aware of?
There's always something happening in Florida that we're not aware of. Let's see. Well, DeSantis is going for president, right? He's going to want to, put his bid in pretty soon for presidency. So I know he's kind of being, very, out in front with everything. So I wonder what's going on. I really don't know what's going on, though. What feud is it, do you think?
I don't know. Enough to make Disney move?
Yeah.
I'm just, the article was just pretty crazy, but it'd be interesting to see Disney World move to I would say a less hot place, but it's just a different kind of hot.
Yeah, I can almost tell you right now it's never going to happen. There's way too much tourism that goes there because of Disney. Now, will people strike on Disney? I don't know. I know that there was a lot of information with that whole bill act, which I think we covered here on the show, and I'm not going to lie, I was a little confused by the way the bill was written. But the way I understood it, it was so that, parents didn't need to notify the family members that kids were basically wanting maybe if you have a crush in school, why would your teacher have to tell your parents? They wouldn't. But for some reason, somebody kind of made it mandatory. So then the bill came in to stop that from being mandatory, the Don't Say Gay bill, which is kind of a little questionable the way it's kind of run out, like with the statement. So I feel a lot of people kind of don't really understand what it was, or maybe we got it wrong. I don't really remember, but all I know is that one was you have to notify the parents based on orientation of said child. And then the other one was no, we don't want to have to notify the parents because A, that's kind of up to the teen and or the kid, and that's kind of their choice. You know what I mean? So I don't really know. I know where I sit with that. I say, why when they're kids? Just let them be. Who cares? At the end of the day, you should be talking about more serious things like pedophiles and other things, like abuse and sexual abuse. You should talk about that. But why are we talking about your choice, and whether it be a boy or a girl, because at the end of the day, do you tell all parents about when, somebody has a crush on another kid? Because trust me, every parent knows when they were kids, they had a crush. They didn't want their parents to know. They only let them know if they wanted to. And sometimes crushes come and go, right? I mean, that's a form of school, right?
Right, crushes come, crushes go. It's something that happens in normal day life.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about this bill to actually talk about it, but somebody was saying how, they're grooming children. Not necessarily, not a lot of people, because one, people were gay before this, so I really doubt it. I highly doubt that if I watch a TV show, I'm going to be like,
Yeah, now I will say, and I could have this wrong. Mark just posted an ABC article there about Florida State Senate passes bill eliminate Walt Disney. So maybe I got it wrong. I just know Walt Disney started to get a little bit like in people's I've seen certain ones say, hey, we're going to ban it, or we want to sign things against it because. I know a lot of employees kind of walked out on the Don't Say Gay bill, but I feel people don't even know what the bill is. So it's kind of like find out what the bill is first, then understand why it was there in the first place, and then understand who kind of put it out there. And then because it's not that you can't say gay, right? That's not because I know some people jumped on that and they're like, wait, can we not say gay anymore? You would be I remember hearing somebody go, that doesn't make any sense. They're like, yeah, you can't say gay because now you get locked up. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. Then we read the story of what the bill is, and it's completely different. They called it the Don't Say Gay bill, but maybe they shouldn't have called it that. Maybe they should have called it, hey, don't notify the parents about certain things that you think they need to know, which is your child's orientation of whether they want to see a boy or a girl in school, which maybe they just, they got questions on it. They may not have made a decision. You know how many people as teens and college, you know how many girls are with girls and they don't even tell you later on in life, Jesse?
No, but I am now.
That's Jesse's like, I want to know. Yeah, there's a lot. I've had discussions with women. And if you say, okay, it's a very simple question. Has a girl kissed another girl? Okay, this is a very adult topic, but it shouldn't be because it's very hello in the world, right? And the answer is actually higher than you would imagine. And sometimes they're because they went to a party or they drink and the guy's like, kiss, 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 and they do it. Yeah. And it may just go as far as that, or it may go further, right? There's a lot of things that happen in college. Okay. Now the question of the day is that the parents' right to know. The answer, well, they're adults, so why do they need to let somebody know? But you would be surprised if you found out that, right? Now I can say unequivocally, I have never even thought of that as a guy ever, and I don't ever want to go there. That's my own prerogative. That's my own choice, right? And I never had that as a kid. But at the end of the day, you know how many crushes I had as a kid on girls? I didn't want my parents to know every crush I ever had on a girl, and I had a lot because they usually moved away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Every young guy has crushes. Like I said, they come, they go. It's just something to be like, oh, she's pretty, I like her, blah, blah, blah.
Now, when it impacts the family is when it goes next level. That's called pregnancy. So that's the one you should be talking about, because pregnancy, oh no, what do I do now, right? And then that's a whole question, a whole debacle, should I, have the A word or should I not have the A word? Should I tell my parents am I going to be ousted because, I have now a child? And I always say, think 8 years later, even 3 to 8 years later. That little kid, that little kid needs a little protection. You know what I mean? And I've seen families that are young mothers, young fathers, and they try to do what they can. Sometimes it's a lot harder than they knew or know. But they usually go to family member, and family member helps out along the way. If you could do that and they can complete their schooling, even better. But at the end of the day, you got to have these serious topics in the family. But at the end of the day, that's worst case scenario. Now, will you get that with this whole, situation? No, because it just doesn't happen. But the ones you got to worry about are the boys and girls that kind of have, that moment in time alone with each other in the vehicle or said place, and all of a sudden, whoop, see Daisy, there's a baby. You know what I mean? So now what are they going to do as teens, right? So you got to have those questions kind of out there. And then those like, hey, you know what? Just let me know. I love the families, honestly, that say, look, worst case scenario that happens. All right, I get it. But look, this is your life. If it does happen, it's not going to be easy, all right? But, and you gotta let that out there so that the kids know, hey, by the way, it's going to get bad at some point, because there are some young mothers that do have this discussion with their kids. I know a few, and some that do not have this discussion with their kids. And they have questions of what do they do, right? So I know I had a discussion with somebody because I have a book, which is kind of more adult than not. It's about abusive men and how abusive men can abuse the families. And there's a lot of kids that get abused at home, but they never say anything, right? So I'm like, how can I make this so, it could be done right? So I put it in front of a teacher, a library teacher, actually. And she's like, well, okay, this is kind of like an adult subject. I know, yeah, it needs to be an adult subject because people don't discuss it. You need adult subjects to be discussed in school. When do they talk about sex education, right? Usually at 13, 14, 15, and 16. So the question is, are they making it a safe environment for people to understand, hey, if anything should be reported on, it should be abuse, right? Whether it be a pedophiliac or somebody who abuses their little daughter, or you know what I mean? So that's the question of the day. Are we talking about those subjects? I say we should be talking about those subjects, and they should be reported on immediately. So, because they go on down the line hurting and suffering, thinking they have to kind of be ashamed of it, when in reality, the one that should be ashamed is out and doing it to other people. So, that's a discussion I have a lot, because there's a book that I have that's kind of on the fence on kind of releasing, but I got to make sense for people and teachers and people that are parents to say, hey, if you're a mother and your child says, hey, this, happened to me because of the man you're dating, or, uncle, or even father sometimes, then you need to report it and be all right with it, and then trust your kid to say the truth, especially if they're under 8. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and be out there, be smart, and be good with it. Let's see, Ellie, roll first before we go. She says a lot of companies are moving their business to Austin, Texas, growing more every day, which is good for Texas. Unfortunately, that means the economy is going up and up in Texas, especially in Austin area. Yeah, I visited Texas recently. Stephanie Reed says Florida should not judge like Scripture says. We should not judge others. I know I heard that Disney World is and will be moving to Austin, Texas. Oh, really? Huh? Interesting. Now, Jeannie says parents need to talk to their children like my mother. Nothing a woman can do for me except babysitter. I don't know what that means, but there you go. All right, people, make it a great day. Whatever you do, remember, life is worth living. And if something falls in the toilet, let it be. Right, Jesse? Ugh.
Yeah, don't go for it. Do not go for it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, don't fall in. You might be stuck for 20 minutes. Ugh, nasty. All right, and for the rest of you, yeah, we're out of time. I know we always get like a big thing right at the end. I go, man, we're like out of time. But if I had to say this, I'll say this now, just to kind of, because I know people are going to be like, what? How dare you? Here's the thing. All right, the bill is, if I asked like anywhere from like 10 to 20 people what the bill meant, they would probably be like, they don't even know. All right, so I say get the information first before you go at it. Now, since I don't know the information, let's research the information about Disney, because I really don't know. I don't know this situation. And I will say, although Disney might be saying that they're going to move, I really don't think they will, because they just have too much to move. You know what I mean? Now, would I be happy that they did? No, because Texas is very dry, and I don't want to go to Texas for a vacation. I want to go near the beach. The beach is fun. Now, let's see. Okay, I see it. It's the bill. I guarantee it's the bill. The bill's statement is the wording. The wording is odd, okay? Let's see. I'll look at this one. Let's see, everybody. Okay, DeSantis. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's trying to make headway. Got it. Okay, I get it. I get it. And I get this picture too. I get it. Okay, so I think there's a little misinformation there. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe somebody can make it make sense to me. All right, and I get this. I get this picture, and like I say, he's running for president. I guarantee it. So surrounded by, mothers, obviously, and by the kids. So I get it, but I also don't get it. And let me read the article. Okay, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill on Friday to dissolve the private government Walt Disney World controls on its property in the state, punishing the entertainment giant for opposing a new law that critics call Don't Say Gay. The move is expected to have huge implications for Disney and further sour the relationship between the Republican-led government and a major political player whose theme parks have transformed Orlando into one of the world's most popular tourist destinations. For DeSantis, the attack on Disney is the latest front in a culture war waged over policies involving race, gender, and the coronavirus, battles he has harnessed to make himself one of the most popular Republicans in the country and likely, here it is, 2024 presidential candidate. That's according to this story. See, I told you. All right, so, all right. Now, I think it's important first to understand the bill because I feel people are a little odd about it, okay? The bill, the Don't Say Gay bill, okay? It's not to not say gay. That makes no sense. And I get how it sounds on the front, but you have to understand, this is why we covered it here on the show, because you want, information that makes sense, right? It's not that you cannot say gay. It's a weird, statement, right? Here's an article from a news agency. It says, here's what Florida's Don't Say Gay bill would do and what it wouldn't do. Okay, legal experts dissect whether the bill would prevent the instruction or discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity in which grade levels would be affected. Okay. It says, in recent weeks, leaders of global corporations, editorial boards of major newspapers, and Hollywood actors have weighed in on the proposed legislation. Again, this is a Florida legislation. This isn't federal. With some calling it deeply disturbing and others non-controversial. Kate McKinnon ripped into the bill during a Weekend Update segment on Saturday Night Live. The host of the ABC talk show The View mulled over the policy for more than 7 minutes on air, I think in February. And Bravo's Andy Cohen dedicated a closing segment of Watch What Happens Live. All right. Now, I'm just going to say this really quick. I have a lot of friends that are, and I don't know which way you could say it now based on this bill, the way people are going to say it, that are, what's the right way to say it? Because I know, LGBTQ, I mean, it's right there. What do you say? You don't say gay there? I mean, right? Lesbian, gay, bi, transsexual, and or it used to be a faux pas to say the Q word, but it's there, right? So my point is this: it's a thing, right? Okay, so do we just say, I don't understand. I don't understand why this is a thing. I have a lot of friends that are, that's their choice. I say, all right, that's your choice. It is what it is. Is that my choice? No, I choose woman, girl, period, end of story. That's how I roll. But, that's a choice for everyone, okay? Yeah. Well, I will say this. I even have a friend who's actually, how do I say? Well, let's put it this way. I have friends all over the place, okay? Now, do I have acquaintances? Yeah, I have a lot of acquaintances. And I hang out with all sorts of people because, honestly, that's what I do. I do media. So I would never, ever be like, how dare you, right? If anything, I'd be like, look, man, that's your choice. That's your thing. Just don't murder anyone, right? That's all I care about. And no, I don't roll that way, right? That's about it, right? That's most guys, by the way. Most guys are like, hey, I like women. You know what I mean? So that's it with that. That's what I will say. Because I have been hit on guys. I'm like, dude, I don't roll that way. It doesn't make sense for me. Got it? Okay, now, having said that, I think people are still confused about what the Don't Say Gay bill is. But it was something in the school. Here it is. The bill is actually, and I think it should be called this actually, the HB 1557. It says it would give parents greater control over their children's education, vindicating their parental authority. Conversely, opponents say it would unfairly target the LGBTQ community, particularly gay and trans students, as pretending to solve a problem that doesn't exist. So what is it? Yeah, here it is. The criticism that the Don't Say Gay bill does not, in fact, say gay anywhere in its text is true. It doesn't. It's whoever titled the bill. Does that make sense? But it doesn't mean it's that. The bill, which passed Florida Senate last week and the state's House of Representatives in February, does contain the term sexual orientation and gender identity each twice. Legal experts say that whether the bill prohibits the word gay itself is a distraction. It is a distraction. It's not that at all. It has nothing to do with that, okay? That you can say gay. It's not like it's illegal to say gay. Charlton Copeland, a professor at the University of Miami School of Law, who writes about sexual orientation and gender identity, says, in the same way that critical race theory isn't being taught in schools, that hasn't stopped people like Florida from deploying the term critical race theory in efforts to engage in certain kinds of political maneuvers. That's a lot of words. I don't know what he's saying. The bill's sponsors have stated that the bill would not prohibit students from talking about their LGBTQ families or bar classroom discussions about LGBTQ history, including events like the 2016 deadly attack on the Pulse nightclub, a gay club in Orlando. Instead, they argue that the bill would bar the instruction of sexual orientation or gender identity. The text says both. Again, they need to really read the bill. Maybe it's too long. In its preamble, the bill's authors write that their aim is to prohibit classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity, but later the actual bill states that classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur. Why is this even a thing? Why are we talking about this? Who's the one that wrote the bill? I go there first. I don't understand it. Let's see. Clay Calvert says, I could see why people are confused by that. Yeah, that makes no sense. Calvert added, I have no idea why that's still left up there, but that's not part of the binding legislation that DeSantis would sign. I'm still questioning that. If it's in the bill, it's there to be signed. Copeland disagreed, said basically all of that language is telling us what the bill is about. See, nobody understands the bill. I think that's the thing about it all. And what they're doing is they're going on the title of it. But I want to ask DeSantis, does that mean we can say or not say gay? Is that what it's about? Like, explain it to me. Or is it more of a thing for schools to say, hey, we're going to let your parents know about this? Because that's the way I read it when we first read it, I think in February. Because I said, this is confusing. I need to understand this before I kind of comment on it. So, look, at the end of the day, like I say, kids are going to do what kids are going to do, period, end of story. We've all been there, right? Now, should you let the parents know everything? I say, well, that depends on the child. What you don't understand is the divisive part that this does to families, all right? And there are mothers and fathers that just say, yeah, I kind of get it. I understand. All right? And then there's ones like 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, which would be like, no, move out. And that's hard, right? There's a lot of shame there. There's a lot of questioning there. There's a lot of stuff there. It used to be way back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s that if you got pregnant and you were a teen mom, bye-bye, right? You brought shame to the family, right? And those are Catholic households. So there's a lot of, I get the thought of, religion. But at the end of the day, here's what I say. Stay alive, man. You know what I mean? Like I say, there are people that do things all throughout life. Don't make it hard for the kids. They already have a hard time, right? And I get this as well. There are what I will call mixed families, right? There are two fathers, right? That adopt a little child, right? Or maybe one did have a marriage previous to, right? And the kid is kind of, living with that, right? Or the opposite. Sometimes there are, women that are together and, they have a child as well, right? And maybe it got in vitro fertilization. So my point is this. There's a lot of ways this happens. At the end of the day, you can't just like squash it 100%. In fact, you just say, all right, I get it. And that's it. But I don't understand why this is a thing right now. I really don't. And I don't understand why it's a thing for Disney. Now, I do understand Disney, but here's what I don't understand. Disney is always kind of like an all-inclusive company, period, end of story. So I don't understand that either, because, at the end of the day, are you saying, that, like, what are you saying is my question. So at the end of the day, that's what I wonder. And I would challenge people to say, okay, what do I want to know at the end of the day? And I say, look, every family is run different. You cannot rule a family like that. You just can't. Right, and then at what point does it become a no issue, right? It doesn't, right? When I was a kid, I was taught that's not a thing. But again, that was religious belief. So religious belief was like no, and I'm all right with that, right? I'm all right with that. But it doesn't mean that I haven't been hit on by guys. I mean, I remember I was like hired and the guy kept hitting on me the whole way through, and I had no idea. I thought he was nice. I'm not gonna lie. And I was like, I think 17 or 18, and I was like, huh? And then his friend was like, dude, that guy's hitting you. I go, no, he's just nice. He goes, dude, what did he say to you? I go, oh boy. And that was weird for me. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Now, if that were a lady hitting on me, I'd be all right with it. I'm not gonna lie. I was 17 at the time. I mean, come on. But my point is this. Does that make it right for the workplace? I know people are like, wait, what? But my point is, at the end of the day, it is a thing we're going to live with. It is a thing that is choice, and you can't. I mean, this is just going to go weird all of a sudden, I guarantee it. But do I see Disney moving? I don't. They have way too much stuff there, way too much things. I see them maybe put it another place in Texas. Maybe this is the way of saying that. But I don't see all the money that Disney has brought to Florida. All of a sudden they say, oh yeah, bye-bye. I will say this, it is a thing, and I guarantee you, and I will tell you right now, if he runs, shoot, I will run, because DeSantis doesn't know what he's saying half the time. He's the one who basically wants, in that picture, no face masks. Okay, and then the very next week, face masks. So I got questions on this. I'm not going to lie. I know those ladies are probably not going to like me for calling him out, but I think even those kids are confused. I'm not going to lie. That's my story. I'm sticking to it, and there you go. All right, people. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same channel. Make it a good one. Bye-bye, everyone.